What if I told you that the snowstorm that paralyzed 80 million Americans in January 2025 was just a warning? While meteorologists scrambled to explain how the Gulf Coast, yes, New Orleans, got buried under 8 inches of snow for the first time in recorded history, something even more sinister was unfolding. La Nina isn't done with us yet, and here's why it matters. NOAA's latest data reveals we're heading into February with the same atmospheric conditions that caused 250,000 people to lose power, trapped families on highways for 18 hours, and claimed 4 lives in a single storm. Stick around because I'm about to reveal 7 emergency supplies that could mean the difference between surviving the next historic winter event or becoming another statistic. And trust me, number 6 will shock you, because 70% of winter deaths happen in the one place you think you're safe. Hey everyone, I'm David, and I spent the last 72 hours analyzing NOAA's Climate Prediction Center data, cross-referencing National Weather Service storm reports, and digging through emergency response statistics from the January 2025 winter disasters. What I found is absolutely chilling, and I don't mean the temperature. Here's something the mainstream news isn't telling you. Erie, Pennsylvania didn't just get snow in January, they shattered a 72-year-old single-day snowfall record with 22.6 inches. But here's the kicker. That same storm system caused the most catastrophic Gulf Coast snowfall event in recorded history. Cities that haven't seen significant snow since the 1800s got more in one night than some northern states get all winter. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how much snow your region is forecast to receive, reveal the 7 mission-critical emergency supplies that FEMA and the Red Cross recommend, but that most Americans don't have, and expose the number one mistake people make that turns winter storms from inconvenient to deadly. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. And drop a comment right now. Have you noticed emergency supply shortages in your area? Are stores running low on batteries, water, or generators? Let me know below because what you're experiencing locally could be a warning sign for all of us. All right, let's start with the forecast, because where you live determines how you prepare for the Pacific Northwest and Great Lakes regions. NOAA's Climate Prediction Center is predicting above average precipitation through February 2025. If you're in Washington, Oregon, Idaho, Montana, or the upper Midwest, you're looking at more snow than usual. We're talking legitimate winter conditions that could rival or exceed normal snowfall amounts. Northeast and mid-Atlantic states, you're in a mixed bag. While some areas will see decent snowfall, others might experience more ice storms and freezing rain, which, let's be honest, is worse than snow. Remember December 2024, when La Crosse, Wisconsin got 6.6 inches in one day, breaking a record from 1952? Yeah, that's the kind of winter we're dealing with. Now, here's where it gets weird. The southern states, from Texas to the Gulf Coast and southeast, are forecasted to be warmer and drier than average. But here's the kicker. That didn't stop New Orleans from getting 8 inches of snow in January 2025. Mobile, Alabama, 7.5 inches. Pensacola, Florida, 8.9 inches. These cities broke all-time records with a once-in-a-century storm that meteorologists are still talking about. So, what's causing all this chaos? It's called La Niña, a climate pattern where ocean temperatures in the Pacific are cooler than average. La Niña typically pushes the jet stream northward, bringing wetter conditions to northern states and drier conditions to the south. But as we've seen, that doesn't mean the south is safe. One rogue storm system can change everything overnight. The bottom line, no matter where you live in the United States, winter 2024 to 2025 has proven it's unpredictable and potentially dangerous. The question isn't if another storm will hit, it's when, and when it does, will you be ready? Why you must prepare now. Let me paint you a picture of what happened in January 2025, because if you think it won't happen to me, you need to hear this. Approximately 80 million people were impacted by a single winter storm system. State of emergency declarations went out across multiple states. Major cities like Atlanta, which rarely sees snow, got buried in accumulating snow and ice. The result? Over 3,000 flights canceled in a single day. That's the most significant flight disruptions since July 2024. But here's where it gets really scary. More than 250,000 people lost power. In Virginia alone, nearly 58,000 customers sat in the dark while temperatures plummeted. People were stranded on highways for up to 18 hours, just like what happened in Atlanta. Back in 2014, families were separated. Parents couldn't get home to their kids, and tragically, at least 4 people died in storm-related incidents. In Erie, Pennsylvania, that record-breaking 22.6 inches of snow in a single day caused 2 fatalities and left 14,000 people without power. Interstate 90 shut down for over 80 miles. Parts of Interstate 94 closed completely. This wasn't just an inconvenience, it was life-threatening. And let's talk about the Gulf Coast for a second. After that historic snowstorm dropped 8 inches on New Orleans, temperatures plunged to absurd lows. New Iberia, Louisiana, hit 2 degrees Fahrenheit. Lafayette got down to 4 degrees. These are all-time record lows for these areas. People who had never seen snow in their lives suddenly faced conditions they had no idea how to handle.
Here's the truth. 70% of winter deaths related to snow and ice happen in vehicles, and 83% of all power outages are triggered by weather-related events. When disaster strikes, emergency services are overwhelmed. Roads are impassable. Stores are closed or cleaned out. You are on your own, potentially for days. That's why preparation isn't optional. It's survival. And it starts with having the right supplies before the next storm hits. Okay, enough doom and gloom. Let's talk solutions. Here are the 7 emergency supplies and survival items you need to stock right now. And trust me, some of these might surprise you. Number 1, water and hydration system. All right, let's start with supply number 1, water. I'm not talking about those 2 bottles sitting in the back of your fridge. I'm talking about real emergency water storage that could keep your family alive for days. FEMA says you need 1 gallon per person every single day. The Red Cross backs that up. So do the math with me real quick. Family of 4, that's 12 gallons minimum for just 3 days. Sounds like a lot, right? It is. But here's the thing. When a winter storm knocks out water lines or contaminates the supply, those 12 gallons become liquid gold. Now let me tell you where most people completely blow it. They toss a case of bottled water in their car trunk and think they're prepared. Then January hits. Temperatures drop below freezing, and guess what happens to that water? It turns into a solid block of ice. You're sitting there stranded on the highway, desperately thirsty, staring at bottles you literally cannot drink from. It's almost funny until you realize it could kill you. So here's what you actually need to do. For your home, store water in a cool, dark place that stays above freezing. A basement works great, a closet works. Just keep it away from windows and exterior walls. For your car, everything changes. Regular bottles are your enemy in winter. You need emergency water pouches instead. These things are built different. They handle extreme cold way better than cheap plastic bottles. You can find them at camping stores or online. They're worth every penny. But wait, there's more. Want to blow your mind? Put your water bottles inside a cooler during winter. I know what you're thinking. Coolers are for keeping things cold, right? Wrong. Insulation works both ways, my friend. That cooler will actually protect your water from freezing solid. It slows down the temperature transfer. Another genius move? Juice boxes. They're smaller, they freeze slower, and kids actually want to drink them. Store them in your car's cabin, not the trunk. Your body heat while driving helps keep them liquid. Even a frozen juice box thaws faster than a gallon jug. Here's something most survival guides won't tell you. You can drink melted snow in an absolute emergency, but you have to melt it first and purify it. That takes time, fuel, and equipment most people don't have. Stored water is instant. It's clean. It's ready. When you're already freezing and panicking, the last thing you want is a science project just to get a drink. Make water your absolute first priority before you buy anything else on this list. Number 2, non-perishable food and manual can opener. Supply number 2 is food. And listen, you can't fight off hypothermia when your stomach is growling. Your body needs fuel to generate heat. It's basic biology. So let's talk about what you actually need to stockpile. Every person in your house needs a 72-hour supply of non-perishable food. That's 3 full days of eating without a working fridge or stove. Think canned goods, think granola bars, peanut butter, protein bars, dried fruit, nuts, crackers, anything that sits on a shelf and doesn't need cooking. Now here's where things get really interesting. Have you ever heard of emergency food bars? These things are absolute game changers. We're talking 3,600 calories packed into a single compact bar. They're designed specifically for survival situations. They don't freeze in your car, they don't melt in summer heat, and they taste like compressed cardboard, but who cares? They'll keep you alive and fueled when everything else is gone. You can find them on Amazon or at camping supply stores. Grab a box, but hold on. We need to talk about the most embarrassing emergency mistake people make. Picture this scenario with me. You've stocked your pantry with 50 cans of soup, chili, beans, and vegetables. You're feeling prepared. You're feeling smart. Then the power goes out. Your electric can opener is useless. You frantically search through drawers looking for your manual can opener. You can't find it. Now you're sitting there with a fork trying to stab through a soup can like some kind of caveman. Congratulations, you played yourself. Do not be that person. Buy 2 manual can openers right now. Put one in your kitchen, put one in your car emergency kit. They cost $3. Let's talk about your car for a second. You need high energy snacks in there year round. Trail mix is perfect, beef jerky won't freeze solid, energy bars and protein bars stay flexible even in cold weather. These foods give you quick calories if you're stranded on the side of the road waiting for help. Your body burns calories fast when it's fighting to stay warm. Feed it. And here's a pro tip most people forget. Check your expiration dates twice a year. I'm serious about this. Set a reminder on your phone for when you change your smoke detector batteries, spring and fall. Same time, check your emergency food. Rotate old stuff into your regular meals and replace it with fresh supplies. Expired food in an emergency is better than no food, but why risk it? Stay ahead of the game. Number 3, heat and warmth essentials. Supply number 3 is literally about staying alive. We're talking heat and warmth. When temperatures drop below freezing and you're stuck without power or stranded in your car, your body starts shutting down fast. Hypothermia doesn't care about your plans. It doesn't wait. So let's talk about what keeps you alive. Start with thermal emergency blankets. You might know them as space blankets or Mylar blankets. These things are pure magic. They reflect up to 90% of your body heat right back to you. That's the difference between hypothermia and survival. And get this, they're so compact and lightweight, you can literally stuff 4 of them in your glove compartment. No excuses, go buy them today. But don't stop at basic emergency blankets. Upgrade your game with cold weather sleeping bags if you're storing supplies in your car. Brands like Don't Die in the Woods make blankets from Heat Flex Mylar. They're thicker and way more durable than those cheap foil blankets. You can even turn them into emergency shelters using duct tape and paracord. Keep those in your trunk too. Disposable hand warmers are absolute lifesavers. These little chemical heat packs last for hours. Stick them in your gloves, put them in your boots, use them to thaw frozen water bottles. They're dirt cheap and they work like crazy. Buy a whole box, seriously. Now let's talk winter clothing. Keep a complete extra set in your car at all times. Waterproof gloves, thermal socks, an insulated hat, a heavy winter coat. I know you're thinking you'll only be gone 5 minutes to grab milk. But what happens when your car dies on the highway? What happens when you slide off into a ditch and help takes 2 hours? That extra layer you almost didn't pack becomes the thing that saves your life. For your home, battery-powered space heaters can help during power outages. But listen carefully. Never leave them running unattended. Make absolutely sure you have working carbon monoxide detectors installed. Check the batteries right now. Here's a wild car hack most people don't know. You can make a candle-powered heater. All you need is a metal can, an emergency candle, and a lighter. Light that candle inside your car and it produces surprising heat in that small, confined space. But critical warning here, make sure your car's exhaust pipe isn't blocked by snow. Carbon monoxide poisoning kills silently and fast. Number 4, light and communication. Supply number 4 is all about light and communication. Think about it. When the power goes out, you instantly lose 2 critical things: your ability to see anything and your ability to call for help. That's a scary combo. So let's fix both problems right now. LED flashlights are your foundation. But hold up, don't just grab that junky flashlight from the dollar store. You need something durable that's built to last. Look for flashlights with long battery life. I'm talking 20 plus hours on a single charge. And here's a key move. Store extra batteries separately from your flashlight. Batteries drain over time, especially in cold temperatures. Keep them fresh and ready to go. Now let me tell you about the most underrated item in emergency prep. Light sticks. Yeah, those glow sticks you used at concerts. 12-hour light sticks are absolute gold in a blackout. They don't need batteries. They're completely waterproof. They give off gentle ambient light for hours. Keep 2 per person minimum in your emergency kit. You can use them to mark your location if you need rescue. You can light up a whole room or tent without any fire risk. They're cheap and effective. But here's the real game changer. A hand crank emergency radio with NOAA weather radio capability. Listen to why this matters. Cell towers go down in major storms. Your phone eventually dies. But this radio, it keeps you plugged in to emergency broadcasts and live weather updates no matter what. Some models even come with built-in flashlights and USB charging ports for your phone. One device, 3 critical functions. That's smart prep. Speaking of phones, your cell phone is your absolute lifeline. But a dead phone is just an expensive paperweight. Portable power banks aren't optional anymore. They're mandatory. Get ones with high capacity, at least 10,000 milliamp hours minimum. Keep them fully charged at all times. Even better, grab solar-powered chargers or hand crank chargers that generate power without electricity. And here's the golden rule for power outages. When that power goes out, turn your phone completely off unless you're actively using it. No scrolling Instagram, no playing games, no watching TikTok videos. Save every single % of that battery for actual emergencies and real communication. Your entertainment can wait a few days. Your safety absolutely cannot. Number 5, first aid and medications. Supply number 5 is something people always overlook until it's way too late. We're talking about a comprehensive first aid kit and medications. This is the stuff that can save a life while you're waiting for help that might not arrive for hours or even days. Your first aid kit needs to go way beyond Band-Aids and aspirin. I'm talking about the real deal here. Antiseptic wipes to clean wounds, gauze pads for bleeding, medical tape to hold everything together, sharp scissors and tweezers, antibiotic ointment to prevent infections, pain relievers like ibuprofen and acetaminophen. You also need medications for common emergencies like diarrhea, allergic reactions, and heartburn. These problems don't stop happening just because there's a blizzard outside. But now we need to talk about what really matters: prescription medications. If you or anyone in your family takes daily medications, listen very carefully. You must have at least a 7-day supply stored in your emergency kit. Not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Call your doctor today and ask about getting an extra prescription filled specifically for emergencies. Insulin for diabetics, heart medications for cardiac patients, asthma inhalers for anyone with breathing issues, blood pressure pills, thyroid medications. Whatever keeps you alive on a normal day becomes even more critical when you're cut off from pharmacies and hospitals. These medications aren't optional extras. They're absolute lifesavers. Here's something else you need: an updated list of emergency contacts. Write down your doctor's phone number, your local hospital, poison control, family members who live nearby. Get this list laminated so water and wear don't destroy it. Keep one copy in your home emergency kit, another copy in your car kit. Put a third copy in your wallet. When panic hits and your brain stops working, that laminated list becomes your roadmap. First aid supplies are useless if you don't know how to use them. Knowledge matters just as much as equipment. Take a basic first aid and CPR course if you haven't already. The Red Cross offers classes both in person and online. Learning how to stop severe bleeding, treat burns, or perform CPR can literally be the difference between someone living or dying when professional help can't reach you. And don't forget about the little ones. Kids have special needs. Stock baby formula, diapers, and any pediatric medications your children take. Got pets? Their family too. Extra pet food, their medications, and basic pet first aid supplies need to be in your emergency stash. Your dog can't tell you when help is coming. Make sure you can keep them safe and healthy too. Number 6, car emergency kit. All right, supply number 6 is all about your vehicle. A winter car emergency kit. Here's the scary stat again. 70% of winter deaths related to snow and ice happen in cars. So if you drive anywhere during winter, and let's face it, you do, you need these supplies. Jumper cables or a portable jump starter. Cold weather murders car batteries. A portable jump starter means you don't have to flag down a stranger in a blizzard to get your car running. Ice scraper and snow brush. If you live in the snow belt and don't have these, what are you even doing? A folding shovel. Compact foldable shovels can dig your car out of snow or clear space around your tailpipe so you don't die from carbon monoxide while idling for warmth. Kitty litter or traction boards. When your tires are spinning on ice, pour kitty litter or floor sweep absorbent under your tires for instant traction. It's a game changer. Reflective warning triangles or road flares. Make yourself visible to other drivers. Getting rear-ended because someone couldn't see you in a snowstorm is not how you want this story to end. Fix-A-Flat and a tire repair kit. Sometimes a can of Fix-A-Flat can save you from changing a tire in freezing conditions. Keep a spare tire and know how to use it, but have a backup plan. Tow rope and basic toolkit. You never know when you'll need to help yourself or someone else. Waterproof matches and emergency candles. Remember that candle heater hack? Yeah, these make it work. Pre-made car emergency kits range from $60 to $100 and include most of these items. Amazon, Uline, and survival supply sites have great options. Or build your own. Either way, do it. Number 7, backup power solution. And finally, we're at supply number 7. This is the big one. Backup power. Let that sink in for a second because this could be the most important item on this entire list. Here's the reality check. 83% of all power outages are directly caused by weather events. When a winter storm rolls through and knocks out the electrical grid, your home instantly becomes a dark, freezing box. No lights, no heat, no way to charge phones or power medical equipment. A backup power solution can literally be the difference between life and death. Portable power stations are becoming the new standard, and for good reason. Brands like EcoFlow, Jackery, and Goal Zero manufacture battery-powered units that can run your essential devices for hours or even multiple days depending on capacity. These aren't your grandpa's loud, smelly gas generators. They're clean, they're whisper quiet, and here's the game changer. They're completely safe to use indoors because there's no exhaust or fumes. For extended power outages that last days or weeks, solar generators become worth every penny. They recharge themselves using solar panels. As long as the sun eventually comes out, you've got renewable power. Set up the panels in your yard and route that power inside your home. It's like having your own mini power plant. At bare minimum, you need high-capacity battery packs. Get portable chargers for your phones, tablets, and critical medical devices. Some heavy-duty models can even jumpstart your car battery. Don't cheap out here. Now, if you're going old school with a traditional gas or propane generator, listen very carefully to these safety rules. Never, ever run it indoors. Never run it in your garage, even with the door open. Carbon monoxide is an invisible, silent killer. Run that generator outside, at least 20 feet away from windows and doors. And make absolutely certain you have working carbon monoxide detectors installed inside your home. Test them monthly. Think about what happens when power lines snap under the weight of heavy ice and snow. Backup power means you can charge phones to call for help. You can power life-saving medical equipment. You can keep a CPAP machine running so someone can breathe while they sleep. You might even run a small space heater. This isn't some luxury item for rich people. This is basic emergency preparedness that saves lives. Bonus tips and hacks. All right, Before we wrap this up, I've got some bonus tips and hacks that'll seriously level up your winter preparedness game. These are the things people wish they knew before disaster struck. First up, let's talk about frozen pipes. This one causes thousands of dollars in damage every single winter. When extreme cold hits, leave your faucets dripping just slightly. I'm talking a pencil-thin stream of water. Moving water is way harder to freeze than standing water. Also, open up the cabinet doors under your sinks. Let that warm air from your house circulate around those pipes. Trust me on this. Frozen pipes don't just stop working, they burst. And when they burst, you're looking at flooding and massive repair bills. Carbon monoxide detectors save lives, but only if they actually work. Install them on every level of your home. Test them every 2 months by pressing that test button. Change the batteries every 6 months. Here's an easy way to remember. When you change your smoke detector batteries in spring and fall, change your CO detector batteries at the same time. Put it on your calendar right now. Check on your neighbors, especially elderly people or anyone living alone. Seriously, a quick knock on the door or a simple phone call could literally save someone's life. Winter isolation is real and dangerous. Don't forget about your pets. They're counting on you completely. Stock extra pet food, water, and any medications they need. If you've got cats, make sure you have enough litter. They can't exactly go outside when there's 3 feet of snow. Here's something nobody thinks about until it's too late. Entertainment. When the power's out and you can't use your phone because you're saving battery, boredom will drive you absolutely insane. Keep board games in your emergency kit. Throw in some books, puzzles, and a deck of cards. Your sanity matters during long power outages. Service your snowblower before winter actually hits, not after the first storm when you desperately need it. Same thing with your home heating system. Get it professionally inspected in the fall. Prevention is way cheaper than emergency repairs in January. And here's one last hack. Bookmark your local emergency response websites on your phone right now. County Emergency Management, local news stations, NOAA weather alerts. When you need help fast, you don't want to be frantically searching for phone numbers and websites. Have them ready to go. All right, everybody, let's bring this home. We just covered the 7 critical emergency supplies you absolutely need to stock immediately. Water and hydration systems, non-perishable food with that manual can opener, heat and warmth essentials, light and communication devices, first aid kits and medications, car emergency kits, and backup power solutions. 7 supplies that could save your life. Here's the reality we're facing right now. La Niña conditions are still active through February 2025. This winter season is not over. We've already watched historic storms impact 80 million Americans. We've seen snowfall records shattered across the country. Multiple people have died. And the next storm? It could hit your area. Tomorrow. It could hit next week. It could hit next month. You don't get to choose the timing. Don't be that person sitting in the dark, freezing cold, with no way to call for help, saying, "I wish I had prepared." Preparation takes one afternoon and a little bit of money, but survival? Survival is priceless. You can't put a price tag on keeping your family alive. So here's exactly what I want you to do right now. Pause this video, open a new tab, order at least 3 of these supplies today. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Do it now while you're thinking about it. If this video helped you or opened your eyes to something you didn't know, smash that like button for me. Drop a comment below telling me which supply you're ordering first. I actually read every single comment. Subscribe to this channel for more emergency preparedness content because we've got a lot more coming. And please share this video with your family and friends. Seriously, everyone needs to see this information. I'll see you in the next video. Stay safe out there. Stay prepared. And remember this: winter doesn't care if you're ready. Winter doesn't check your calendar. But you can control whether you survive it. The power is in your hands. Let's go.